Welcome back to Old School Sports and our Out of the Park Baseball 26 mini-series with the Los Angeles Angels. And we are closing in on the final stages of this 2029 to 2030 offseason. And this season is likely to be our final year with these Angels. And the reason I say that is that earlier today on the OOTP forums, they did release a beta patch, so hoping that over the next few days that beta patch turns into an improved patch that's no longer in beta form for the game. We are only a week away from 2 weeks or 2 months since OOTP 26 was released, so I'm definitely eager to get a long play going. That being said, as I noted, even if that patch ends up released in the next few days, we're going to try to finish what we started here with the Angels in 2030. Won a world championship last year, bringing back largely the same team. Made a couple of minor-ish trades this offseason that we hope will improve the team on the margin. And see if we can close this mini-series out with back-to-back titles here in Los Angeles. But before we get to that, we've got to finish the rest of the off-season. You can see the preseason begins today, still about 2.5 months from the start of our season, so we'll be learning a lot about the development lab in this episode. But right now our focus is turning to the International Amateur Free Agent class, and as always, appreciate those who took the time to share thoughts on what they would recommend doing in this class. And I think I agree with the consensus views, and the consensus views are that there's 2 players to consider. One is the 17-year-old starting pitching prospect Alex Divi Mejia. Tyler M., DLL first base 14, Not My 4-ply, and Scott Donovan all had Mejia at the top of their list, or tied with the next guy that we're going to talk about, or in a worst case scenario, second on their list. And I agree he could be an outstanding acquisition, has the potential to be throwing over 100 miles an hour, potential for 3 outstanding pitches, and we think his stuff and his movement could both be above average to well above average if everything works out. He still ended up being the number 2 choice of the worldwide scouting department, though, behind Francisco Molino, who is who we were leaning towards in our first view of this class last episode. Avery Shayam, Alkshi Pep, DLL first base 14, Peter Hooper, Not My 4-ply, and the dynamic duo of Scott B. and Scott Donovan, all had Molino at or near the top of their lists of players to pursue. Talked about him last episode. There's no real weakness. He's durable, looks like he could be very good defensively, has some positive personality traits, above average speed and base running instincts, and we think that all of his bat can be above average if he reaches his full potential, albeit not spectacular. But for a 16-year-old to conceivably have a scenario where he's an above average defensive shortstop who's out there every day with above average speed, even if he ends up with an average-ish bat, that's still a pretty valuable player. There are some cheaper guys that we are intrigued by that we talked about in the last episode, but I think if we're going to get one of these top players, our only hope, given that there's teams that have almost $1 million more to spend than we do, is to offer a top guy every penny we have initially, and then hope and pray for the best. And I'm going to go with my initial instinct, which is also what the Worldwide Scouting Department recommended, and we are going to make an offer to Francisco Molino. Says he's looking for only $2.6 million right now. We're going to offer him every penny we have, $4.75 million, and see if perhaps we'll be able to lock the 16-year-old Venezuelan product up as a member of our organization in the not too distant future. And we ended up getting lucky after striking out with some of our top guys in recent years, given that we didn't have as big a budget as some other teams. We did get Francisco Molino signed, so he will be at our international complex. Took every penny that we had to get it done, but going in early and going in with the best offer we could possibly make worked out. And Molino is now a member of the Los Angeles Angels organization. And we've simmed ahead another several days and gotten a not great report on how Jake Riley's improved pitch movement program is going. You may recall that Riley was injured at the end of the regular season, missed the last couple months of the year. So after we had our young, actually our not young, but our inexperienced major league catcher, Mr. Kim, who came over in his 30s from Japan last year in the development lab, working on learning a new position, which he did successfully. After that short program, Riley was healthy, and we've got him now in on a program working on his pitch movement. Unfortunately, he's frustrated right now. We're a couple weeks out of the beginning of spring training, and some definite mixed results. No one is struggling, which is positive. But right now, looks like we potentially are going to have 5 good results and 5 unacceptable or lack of improvement results here in the development lab. Putt Rodriguez, Andy Kraft, and Manny Cruz are all excelling in their programs. And Tyler Koopman and Justin Buchanan are both on track with their control programs. So a lot of the younger pitchers in our organization doing very well in the development lab. And Putt Rodriguez also doing well. 2 or 3 weeks out from those guys, and obviously Jake Riley won't know his results until we get to the start of the regular season. And we've made it to the start of spring training, so we are only a day away from finding out how most of these development lab programs worked out. A little bit better situation right now. It looks like there's potential for 6 of the 9 that are going to finish up to be successful. Unfortunately, Riley, among others, still ends up frustrated with his program. But if we can get 6 positive results in the 9 spots that are going to finish up tomorrow, and then hopefully also have a little bit of success when we focus primarily on defensive programs over these next few weeks, could be, when all is said and done, a pretty positive trip through the development lab for our organization this offseason. And we tied our opening day of spring training against the Red Sox 2-2. No real changes as far as the development lab since yesterday. So 3 no improvements. Volpe, quality of contact. Heriberto Garza in his control. And then Sean Gamble in generating bat speed. But we did end up with 6 successful programs, 3 of which were outstanding. Tony Godinez, current gap power, improved in a successful program for him. Justin Buchanan improved his current control a little bit. And Tyler Koopman got a 5-point boost to his control. So those were all positive results. And then 3 outstanding results also, as I noted. Manny Cruz, current and potential control, both improved. Andy Kraft, potential splitter stuff improved by 10, and the current stuff improved a bit for one of the better pitching prospects in our organization. And Andres Rodriguez with an outstanding result in plate discipline, potential eye improved by 5, and his current eye rating improved by 10. He's already one of the top players in baseball, and now he looks poised to likely walk a lot more than the 67 walks he had as a rookie and the 65 walks he had a year ago. So glad to see some generally positive results in the development lab this year. And as I noted, I expected we'd go heavily in the development lab on defensive programs, and they're all defensive programs. Joshua Lugo, Tyler Koopman, Sean Gamble, Juan Flores, Put Rodriguez, Justin Buchanan, Anthony Scull, Carlos Jorge, and Anthony Volpe, all going to be working on improving their defense. So we'll see if hopefully we can get lucky with some of those programs, and maybe Jake Riley will improve a bit and actually do some make some progress in terms of increasing his pitch movement. You can see he's got a big gap to make up there, but you never know what can happen. He's got 4 or 5 weeks left. And the first couple of weeks of spring training have been pretty meh, a 6-8-2 record. Not that the record's the most important thing. Sean Gamble, healthy again, having a very strong start to his season, 4 homers. Second in the American League in OPS. Put Rodriguez, third in OPS. And the new addition, Carlos Jorge, has stolen 6 bases. Actually, that was Gamble, 4 stolen bases, not 4 home runs. But he has been productive. We've also got early results or early precincts reporting as far as how the development lab is going. Lugo on track, Buchanan on track, and Jorge on track with their defensive programs, and Gamble, who we talked about earlier, excelling in his improved infield defense program. So a little bit of progress there, and most importantly, nobody's struggling, so hopefully that will mean no material regression, although you can see Put Rodriguez is unfortunately just barely above the level at which he could have some regression, so hopefully he'll end up not taking a step back as far as his defense, especially after that nice result we had with him as far as his ability to draw some more walks. And we made it to the end of spring training, a 12-14-2 record. Jorge and Neto ended up first and tied for second in steals. Rodriguez led the league in OPS. Spencer Schwellenbach led the league in ERA. Most importantly, as we get ready for the season to begin tomorrow, although ours isn't going to begin for a week or so, as we sit here, going to have to pare the roster down, but no material injuries to anyone who was at camp with us. The only significant injury we had, Mike Scott, and that's one that dates back to the end of last season when he partially tore his UCL right after the season ended. And we've made our final roster decisions, so we've picked the 26 players who will be heading west with us to Los Angeles to begin the regular season and hopefully defense of our World Series championship. No real surprises with the pitching staff. The rotation will be Schwellenbach, Bradley, King, Riley, and Scott. Cade Smith's going to get the first crack at becoming our closer. The lefty, Garrett McDaniels, the righty, Carlos Espinoza back as setup men, and Tyler Koopman also going to get a shot in that role. Justin Buchanan makes the team as a rookie. Him and the righty, Colin Snyder, will be middle relievers for us. George Klassen going to be a long reliever, emergency starter if we need him. And Pat Baser, who we picked up in a trade this offseason, is going to take over as our lefty specialist and will also serve as a middle reliever for us. Ended up going with a very similar position player roster to a year ago. Really only one change, which we'll talk about shortly. Juan Flores and Min Jae Kim, once again, going to be platooning at catcher. Vlad Guerrero will play first. Sean Gamble second. Yoshihiko Wakabayashi will be our shortstop. And then Zach Neto, Joshua Lugo, and Anthony Volpe will be platooning with us in various combinations. Volpe will play third for us against righties. Neto will play third for us against lefties. Lugo's actually going to be our first baseman against left-handed pitching and move Guerrero to a DH role. And Volpe will actually be playing second base for us against left-handed pitching. So Volpe, for the time being, going to be an everyday player. Sean Gamble, the youngster, just does not look particularly proficient against left-handed pitching. So we've got a bunch of righties in the infield. So we'll give Volpe a chance to see what he can do as an everyday player for us again. No surprises in the outfield either. Andres Rodriguez will be our everyday center fielder. Kyle Tucker, our everyday right fielder. Left field is going to be a platoon. Anthony Scull against righties. And the newly acquired Andy Pajes against lefties. And then Carlos Jorge is going to get the first crack at being our left-handed hitting DH against right-handed pitching. So everyone who is on the roster among the 13 position players is going to get an opportunity to be in the starting lineup against either right-handed or left-handed pitching. And it's opening day for the majors, although we've still got a week and a half till our season starts. Artie Moreno wants us to get back to the playoffs. Ended up having a few successful results. Unfortunately, poor result for Andres Rodriguez in the outfield defense program. Fortunately, no noticeable changes. His error rating still remains unimpressive. It actually looks like his eye, at least according to our scout, has even gotten better than we thought it was coming out of the development lab a month or so ago. Young pitcher Justin Buchanan improved his defense, which was good. Juan Flores continues to improve his defense at catcher. So he's a platoon guy for us, playing only against left-handed pitching. But from time to time, he can probably be a good defensive substitution for us. Jake Riley ended up being successful, improving his pitch movement. Current movement improved by 5. So definitely excited to see what hopefully we can get out of Riley over the course of a full season. And last but not least, outstanding result for Sean Gamble on his defense. Improves a little bit in everything. Arm and error both improved by a full 5 points. So that's going to make rookie from a year ago hopefully even more valuable this year. The other programs that we haven't talked about were all no improvements. Last thing we will do is check in on the preseason predictions. And after a great year and a World Series championship year ago, we are once again considered to likely be one of the top teams in baseball, the only 100-win team in the American League in this simulation, and we had 107 of them. No one else in the AL even reached 90 victories in the simulation. Taking a look at the leaderboard, Andres Rodriguez, looking to have a potential monster season, may finally get an MVP award. And pitching-wise, Jake Riley, Taj Bradley, and Schwellenbach all had very good seasons in the simulation that was run here. Over in the National League, the Braves, the only 90-win team expected over there. You can see some monster seasons expected. Michael Harris II, who I think has won an MVP not that long ago. Yeah, the past season he won an MVP. My memory is not as bad as I think it is. Looks like he could be competing for another Most Valuable Player award as well, but with 107 wins on the preseason predictions, certainly expecting our Los Angeles Angels to once again be very competitive here in 2030. And we'll find out how we do in the early stages of the season in our next episode. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and hope you have a great day.